Hello there, hope you're doing good as always. Well, today I have a question for the parents. And the question is, are you satisfied with the communication skills of your children? If you're not, then ask the same question to yourself. Go back to many, many years ago and think of a time when somebody had asked you, hey, buddy, you need to work on your communication skills, right? And you said, okay, fine. And after many years gone by, you realized nothing much moved from that point to the time, right? The situation is same. We are still in the same situation. Is it the language delivery that we're talking about? Or is it the confidence level we are talking about of our children? Or what is it? Are we looking at it wrong? Because nothing much is changing in them, right? See, we all realize the importance of communication skills, how important it is, but to understand what in communication we need to practice or what we need to make our children practice, it is something that we all need to give a deep thought about it. And the thing is that uh, whenever we say or hear this question, like you need to work on your communication skills, and you ask, what do I need to work in my communication skills? But you're not given any kind of response in return, and most of the learners, this is where when most of the learners get confused or not very clear about that what do they need to work exactly in communication skills, right? Because just by saying it, it's not going to help it. Please understand this. Now, there are six important parameters of English language. If I'm taking an example of English language for now, there are six important parameters, right? For example, fluency and coherence, use of language, lexical resources, pronunciation and accent, the comprehension, listening comprehension, and the interactive communication. There are six total in, right? So which area of communication out of these 6 points we need to work on? That is never told. It's not very clear to the learners. Even if, okay, now let's take a second question of mine now. Even if the learners are clear, these are the 6 important areas in communication skills. This is where we need to work on, right? But is it only these areas that we're looking at which is required to develop good communication skills? No, it is a little beyond that. If you look at it, are we looking at it with the wrong glasses? Are we looking at it with the wrong side? Is it only about the knowledge of these 6 areas, or is it beyond that? Because that also happens when many children, they're very good at knowledge, but they are not able to display it, they are not able to communicate their thoughts in a well respected sense, right? Because when I say communication skills, it's not only about developing language abilities, it's also about developing the level of comfort with language, developing the confidence level with language. That's what we say, right? So something or somewhere is going really, really wrong, which I think we need to address it. The minute we talk about developing communication skills among children, is not only the English language that we need to look at it, we also need to tap into those areas which are the personality traits, right? What works well with a child, what doesn't work well with a child. Is the child given proper exposure and conducive environment towards language development, right? We keep talking about develop communication skills, but where is that environment we are talking about? When you visit a school or any place or any campus, I think the language is only spoken in the classroom most of the time, right? If I'm talking about language in use, I'm talking about English language. But is it only spoken in the classroom? Is it the language only for teaching and learning purpose? If it is only limited to that purpose, I'm sorry, it's not going to become your communication style or skills, right? It has to be a completed, natural, and confident and automatic process. That's how language functions. The psychology of language is all about the automatic thinking process. Like your native, right? If your native language you talk about, you don't need to struggle to translate your sentences, right? So there are many areas of challenges that our children are dealing with. They're dealing with these translation issues, right? They're dealing with the exposure issues, right? They're dealing with the confidence issues. When they have so many areas of problems going around, it's not insane. Isn't it insane to create the expectations that they'll become the exemplary communicator or the orator of their time? No, it's not. It's crazy thing, right? They're not going to become that. So if you really want, you need to work on each areas. And I've been working on this area for so many years now, and I have helped a lot of young learners develop this skill set. But I've always found that's not about only the areas of language, right? It's not about those only six parameters. It's much beyond that. It's about the giving them all 24 by 7 access to reading, writing, listening, and speaking. That environment needs to be built up, right? And if we do that, the confidence level is the next thing that we need to look at, right? The clarity of thoughts, how do they produce their sentences, and the thought process matters the most. There are multiple areas that we need to tap on while teaching language or while working with a child in the areas of language development. Well, there are many things I'm going to share with you. This is my morning diary, which I just started, and I'm going to share my thought process with you. And the idea is to help the children become the best orator of their time. Why to compromise? Right? Less, do not settle for less. Thank you so much for watching.